Hey all of you Star Wars fans out there, and today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Battlefront 3. Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about one of the most important aspects of Star Wars Battlefront 2, space combat. We'll be talking about the many aspects of space combat from the ships to the different game modes, kind of talking about what I think needs to be added or improved in the new Star Wars Battlefront game, and kind of different customizations and stuff, which will make the game way cooler, and of course talking about one of the coolest things, land to space. Going from land to space and space to land, that's sweet, making some of the biggest battles ever in the Star Wars universe. We really need that. I'll be talking about that as well, and kind of what I think needs to be done with that, and kind of how the land and the space can work together for a huge game mode, like where there's tons of different players. We're talking about all that today. First, I'll be talking about kind of the ships and kind of what different customizations I think should be in there, and then I'll be kind of talking about the game modes, and then I'll be talking about land to space combat, not in that particular order. But so I'll be talking about all that today, and so let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to be talking about in this video is the different game modes for space combat. Now, if you've played space combat in Star Wars Battlefront 2, you know that there really is only one mode, which basically is deal the most damage as you can to enemy ships. Depending on which ships you destroy, depends on kind of what points you get. So if you destroy a capital ship, you get a certain amount of points. If you destroy a freighter, you get like a lower amount of points. So depending on who gets the most points wins. It's kind of really all there is, though, and I think there's a huge room for improvement. And one of the things that I was thinking about is a capture the intelligence kind of thing, where each team has a space station and they both have a certain intelligence on there that the enemy team that the other team needs, and basically, they both have to try to capture each other's intelligence, just like capture the flag. I think it'd be really cool because you have to balance defense with offense, defending your space station while also, getting the other space station intelligence. But you could also do it as attack and defense as well, where, there's one space station and it can't be destroyed, and then the other team's trying to destroy it. I think that'd be cool as well, attack and defend and capture the flag kind of thing. And also talking about land to space combat, I think there should be a gigantic battle where, space and land combat work together to complete an objective. Like something like up in space, the one team needs to destroy an enemy team's space station so that you can take down the shields for a station on the ground, land base on the ground, so that the people on the land could infiltrate the base. And I think it'd be really cool, so they could both work together and with traveling from land to space, you could, if the people in space need a little bit of help with destroying the space station, you could go up there and help them. I think that's really cool. So I think land to space working together is also really cool as well. So that's kind of all I have to say about game modes so far. I may be talking about kind of other ideas if it ever comes to mind in other videos, but that's kind of all I have to talk about game modes so far. Next, I'm going to be talking about kind of different your own ships and kind of different customizations you could have with them. Now talking about your own personal ships and how to customize them, there's a lot of ways that you could do this in the new Star Wars Battlefront game. And one of the biggest things that I think needs to be in there with kind of customizing your own ship and having it look different is astromech droids. Astromech droids are a huge part of ships in general. Just they help out, they fix, repair, they make repairs, they do kind of all that stuff. And I think it's a really cool way to customize your ship, to have your own astromech droid with its own different abilities. Like you could, give it different abilities like and different like perks, like 25% faster repair speed or something like that. I think that'd be really cool with astromech droids, and you could choose your own colors, your own like head, your own type of astromech droid, and kind of customize his colors and everything. Like I said, I think it'd be really cool. And also with astromech droids, what I wanted to talk about is the buzz droids. Now, if you don't know, buzz droids were in episode 3 near the beginning, where there are these little droids that kind of were taking down Obi-Wan's ship. They were kind of causing a lot of things, and one got on Anakin's ship, but the astromech droid R2-D2, which is an astromech droid, he got him off, which I think would be a cool thing in Star Wars Battlefront. If you had buzz droids to attach to an enemy, ship, but their astromech droid could try to get him off. And it kind of, depending on what kind of perks the different astromech droid has, depends on kind of how fast they get it off, and if they will get it off in time. If your astromech droid's damaged, you just may be screwed. So I think it'd be really cool to have buzz droids in there, and I think it'd be really cool with customizations with your ships. To have different different weapons, and one of them could be buzz droid missiles. So I think that'd be really cool, and stuff like that. Buzz droids kind of taking down the enemy without like having to just like blow it up. You can just take it down over time. I think it'd be really cool, buzz droids and astromech droids. And now going on to like the ship itself. There's a lot of stuff you could do, with different colors and the different kind of ships there are. There's the Y bomber, the Y wing, the X wing, A wing, and kind of different stuff like that. But you could all have different colors for those and different perks for each kind of one. So you have a certain perk for the Y wing and you have a certain perk for the X wing. So you all have the different kind of ships, but you can add different perks to them depending on kind of what ship it is, and also with the TIE fighter and stuff like that. And depending on kind of what side you are on, you could do different perks to your own ship, and I think they'd be really cool. Have different, I think different graphics on there would be cool. Different like things on there. You could put your like a different certain name, your name on there or whatever. You could put a symbol on there. I think it'd be really cool to have different colors and stuff. Make it look different. I mean, not that too crazy. I mean, you don't want like an entirely pink X-wing out there, but I think changing the colors a little bit, like make it blue, make it look like the stripes blue instead of orange. I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know, maybe I'd go too far, but like putting a little blue on there, not changing the entire thing, keeping the base colors the same, but like, adding a little bit of blue on there and stuff. I think customizing that and astromech droids I think are really cool. And adding perks to your ship yourself, having different like fire speeds depending on what weapons you have, different the speed of your ship depending on what perks you have. And depending on the astromech droid too, because astromech droids can try to increase. I mean, if depending on kind of what astromech droid you have, kind of what perks you give it, you could allow your astromech droid to like make your ship faster if with a boost, like in episode 4 where R2D2 was trying to boost Luke Skywalker's ship. So I think that'd be really cool, astromech droids, and kind of customizing your ship by itself and all that kind of stuff. That'd be really cool. And yeah, so that's kind of all I have to talk about with customize your ship, your own personal ship, and customizing it. I think it'd be really cool. I hope it's in there. I mean, we'll see, but it'd be really cool to have that customization in there. Now I'm going to be talking about kind of land-to-space combat, kind of how they could do it, and how they could, integrate it to make it smooth. So I'll be talking about that next. With land-to-space combat, going from land to space, I really think that there shouldn't really be a load screen to go up there. I think it should be all integrated, so even when you're flying up to space, all that area is still like you can go around in and stuff like that. So it's not just a loading screen. I think it'd be really cool and it'd make it, more realistic, kind of like what they did in the pre-alpha footage for the Free Radical, I think it was, game that never came out. I think that's how the way it should be. And talking about going from space to land, I think escape pods are a really cool thing in there. Trying to get out of the ship, your ship's going down, but you can still make it out of there with an escape pod, and laugh at your friend if he thought he was about to kill you and stuff like that. I think it'd be really cool. Have escape pods and drop ships and stuff like that with going to land and space. Going really fast. And also with escape pods, I think they should also be able to go to other ships too. So let's say you want to shoot your escape pod to another ship. I think that's something that should be in there as well. So transport to other ships, but bear in mind that you could get shot or something like that. In the escape pod, of course. You can't just and you get shot with a turret on land. I mean, you can't just be invincible. But yeah, I think escape pods are really cool, and I really don't think there should be a load screen or anything like that. It should be just one good motion, like, going up there, the atmosphere is changing, and then you're in space. I think it should all be kind of just full and stuff. It shouldn't be like a load screen, so you don't have to like wait a little bit to go up to space. I think it should feel more realistic like that, kind of like the Free Radical version, which was really cool. I wish it had come out. We'd probably already have Star Wars Battlefront 4 by now, but I sadly didn't. But yeah, I think they should kind of go on that. I know they won't use the exact same thing, but they should kind of take off of Free Radical's Star Wars Battlefront pre-alpha and kind of use that for the land to space, space to land. I think all that's really cool, and it, like I said earlier in game modes, and make a huge game mode where space kind of goes with land, and also with space to land. This was kind of talked about in other channels I've seen, but debris from like different explosions of a ship or something should be able to come down to the ground, so it could affect the ground. It could crash land into an area and just make a giant hole or crater or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. Asteroids as well. I think there should be asteroids in space, so you have to maneuver around them, making it a little bit more difficult to go around. And if you shoot an asteroid, it could possibly go into the atmosphere and go into the ground, so an asteroid could hit the ground as well. I think it'd be really cool, having asteroids and stuff in space, because it kind of makes it a little bit more interactable and makes it harder to move around. So making it a little bit more challenging. So I think that's kind of all I have to say with land to space and kind of how it works. So that's all I have to talk about in this video. Please subscribe to my channel. It'd really help me out. Please like this video if you liked it. And I will be making Star Wars news kind of as much as I can. I'll try to be doing it Monday and Friday at least, with kind of different Star Wars Battlefront stuff or Star Wars Rebel stuff. And if there's like some breaking news, I will kind of put it out there on any day. Eventually, I may be doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I'm kind of busy right now, so I'll try to be aiming for Monday, Friday, if I can. There should also be stuff on the weekend that I may make. Like, eventually, I kind of want to make a kind of a Let's Play thing of Star Wars Battlefront 2. I am still trying to get it on the computer, though, because I don't want to use a capture card. So that may coming up eventually as well. I will be making more Star Wars Battlefront videos, of course. I should be making my next one in a couple of days or so. I'm trying to aim for Monday. So if you're watching this video, the week that this came out, the day it came out, or the week it came out, I should be hoping for Monday. But yeah, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. And see you later, all of you Star Wars fans. And never underestimate the power of the dark side.